You know, talking about Street Fighter last episode got me to thinking. Why does Street Fighter have a story? When you get down to brass tacks, the world of Street Fighter is this mismanaged, totally inconsistent retcon to all hell mess that no one can make sense of. You'd think that a game about a fighting tournament would be easy to plot, like making yourself a bowl of cereal. You pour the cereal, you pour the milk. End of demonstration. But somehow, Capcom figured that they needed to reinvent the wheel, and now the story of Street Fighter is a veritable Russian novel of fake deaths, reworked powers, and pure military-strength bullshit. When the video game can't even get its own story straight, what chance does the adaptation have? And it's even worse for the likes of Darkstalkers. While Capcom can always count on Street Fighter to rake in the cash, it has no idea what to do with Darkstalkers, except throw them into the latest crossover game they're making. Which is a real shame because for the most part, the world of Darkstalkers is insane, and gloriously so. If you have the time, I suggest looking up the backstory to these games. They have flaming alien overlords and fetus gods. I swear I am not making this up. Still, there really hasn't been a new Darkstalkers game since 1997. There's been plenty of remakes and appearances since then, but a whole new game has been out of reach since Capcom claimed that the latest compilation game didn't sell. However, in the 90s, Darkstalkers looked to be a new promising feather in Capcom's cap. So, inevitably, an adaptation was made. And it was inevitably shitty. Night Warriors, Darkstalkers Revenge, suffers from many of the same problems as Street Fighter II did. Too many characters, too little story and focus. Both gain some points lost by having top-notch animation and action, and both benefit from starry-eyed nostalgia. But the question isn't which one is worse, it's how much worse is Night Warriors than Street Fighter II? Before we get started, I feel I need to get everyone on the same page in regards to Darkstalkers. Basically, the concept is that this is an Earth that has been merging with a dark world called Makai. This merging brings forth the Darkstalkers, an amorphous term used for the many monsters and demons that battle for supremacy. The exact details vary depending on the continuity, but just remember that this is supposed to be about monsters fighting each other like the classic Universal flicks, with hopefully less awkward choreography. Remember that, people. With that said, let's see how badly they screwed it all up. We begin by having the Vampire Lord Dimitri give us the most transparent, thickly laid-on exposition this side of The Last Airbender.
After your time here on Earth, the strength you've gained will make certain your new role as ruler of the demon world.
Spare me your comforts. That I was defeated in the demon world and exiled to Earth is only fact. However, the humans have restored me, and now I hold custody of the greatest power among all that are alive.
What kills me especially about this scene is that Dimitri's butler bothered to unsheath that gigantic, massive painting just to further solidify Dimitri's backstory to the audience. Why does Dimitri even have that painting to begin with?
Yes, commission for me a painting of my glorious defeat, and make sure it's the size of a highway billboard. I want no one to miss how much I suck.
So after thanking his subject for their tributes and offerings by killing them, we flash to Morrigan picking off some of Dimitri's men who have a key she wants. Morrigan Ainsland. If there is a more popular character with fans who have never played the source material, then I do not know it. I'm serious, I can't think of another character that has such a large fan base full of people who don't know thing one about her. I mean, I get why she's popular, obviously, but you'd think that popularity would transfer some sort of knowledge of the character. Like, did you guys know that Morrigan is supposed to be Scottish? Like, no shit, really. Which means her depiction here...
How is it you serve your master so willingly? Have you no desire to rise against this Dimitri and take his throne?
Is technically less accurate than her depiction here.
You couldn't eat a 6-story gargoyle if it sat in your lap.
But if we're talking toast... perhaps you'd like some jelly.
I think I just have the Morrigan fanbase through suicide. Can somebody call J-List and tell them that business is going to be slow for a few months? We cut to Felicia, the Catwoman, or Whammon, as it were, running into Lord Raptor, an undead Cockney rock star. And... yes! I just confirmed that that sentence has never been uttered in the history of language.
I just think you should be careful. Something's gonna happen, I know.
Oh, you're damn right something's gonna happen. I'm playing tonight, aren't I? I put out for them with my music. They put out a bit of their souls for me. It's beautiful, truly beautiful. I feel right at home here.
God. Scott McNeil is the Al Pacino of voice acting. It turns out Felicia was right on the money, as the audience for Raptor's show turns out to be a bunch of hooded holy warriors there to kill Darkstalkers. I would be questioning how the hell they managed to get into the theater looking like that, but really, the ensuing fight scene is just too entertaining. Lord Raptor and Felicia have about fuck all to do with the story, as you will soon see, but goddamn do they own every moment they are given. McNeil is his usual high-energy self, and the dub allows him to have a few cheesy one-liners.
Oh, the show ain't over yet. Don't you want to buy a t-shirt?
And that's it. Yep, say goodbye to Raptor, because we never see him again for the rest of the series. Good fucking lord. And it's not like Felicia is all that important too. In fact, we have yet to meet our main characters. And I do not want to. We cut back to Dimitri blasting his way into Makai to have his vengeance. Was that the fucking transporter sound effect from Star Trek? Why is it the fucking transporter sound effect from Star Trek? This Foley choice makes no sense. It doesn't even sync to the action on screen. I mean, just because you can use a famous sound effect doesn't mean you should. Morrigan intercepts Dimitri before he reaches the demon world to fight him for no real reason. I'll admit it's kind of cool that the animators bothered to use the characters' actual fight moves and incorporated them into the choreography, and while I appreciate the sentiment, I'll be the first to admit that the moves themselves are goofy as hell. Morrigan's is particularly silly, and every time she does her drill kick move, it just looks cringeworthy. Not that Morrigan's skill set has never been ridiculous.
How did you dodge this?
Awesome!
It gets even weirder when Pyron's robots come out of nowhere to fight the two. Who's Pyron, as you're more than justified in asking? Well, the anime does eventually answer that question. Halfway through the series! After the two wipe out the bots, they just fuck off for about an hour of running time. That's right, Morrigan and Dimitri, arguably the two most famous characters of the entire franchise, hold about as much importance to the story as Lord Raptor. Fuck you too, Night Warriors. So if Morrigan and Dimitri are our main characters, and Felicia and Raptor are our main characters, who is? Donovan Bane. The most boring, lifeless, charisma-free vacuum of a character I have ever seen. I don't want to know why. Fuck why. I want to know who. I want to know who is the motherfucking cockstain that okayed this decision. I want to know who he is, where he can be found, and if he has any large dogs. I want to know where he is so I can find him. I want to find him so I can explain to him the folly of his decision. If that man just so happens to be watching this right now, I want you to know that because of you, the rest of the anime is going to be just this.